Hello everyone and welcome back to Something to Talk About.
We have such a good show for you today. I know I say that all the time, but we're just getting better and better each week. So we've got some Today Show news. One of Southern Living's favorite editors, Jory is one of our favorite editors.
Yes,
but one
second
of our
favorite.
second favorite editor just got a big promotion on the Today Show, so we're going to talk about that. Miss Jenna Hager. Carrie Underwood just put her house for sale, so we're going to give you all the details on that if you're in the market for a new home in the Nashville area. And we'll tell you why a Maryland family ate expired food for an entire year. They did survive, but we'll tell you how it went.
I'm excited.
But first, before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed to Southern Living's YouTube channel so you don't miss all of our other great shows, plus just the really wonderful recipe videos we put up.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot coming to help y'all plan your Easter brunch. So
that is very true.
Yeah, so subscribe and get ready to make your Easter menu.
I can tell you, Southern Living Scoop, we have hummingbird pancakes coming. So you should subscribe for that alone, honestly.
Perfect for a spring weekend morning.
Yes, yep. I'm going to kick us off with our first news story of the week. This could shock you, but it turns out that having a sister is really good for you. All sisters across the South just gasped. I actually don't have a sister. I know Meg has a couple of sisters.
I have 2.
Yes.
They're twins. And they,
I didn't know that.
Yes, they would gang up on me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, I've heard horror stories about having a sister. I have one little brother. I'll tell you more about him later. But yes, this study, it's a scientific study. Again, the big science out there. We're not scientists. We're just giving you.
We just report the science.
Right, exactly. Yes, having a sister is good for your mental health. So this is a study out of Brigham Young University. They studied 395 families with 2 or more children, and at least one of the children had to be between ages 10 and 14 for this study, just so you have all the info. And it turns out that just even having a sister led to less depression, or you were less likely to be depressed as you got older, which is interesting to me.
So, I always play the devil's advocate and I start poking holes in these things.
Yeah.
I want to know what Brigham Young University's poll was, because, Brigham Young is right there in, the center of Mormon territory.
Yes.
And if they were only polling Mormons, they're all really, I hate to generalize, but Mormons are extremely nice people.
They are.
So maybe they love their sisters more than the average
I can tell you, this
person.
was 395 families specifically from Seattle. So
okay, all
that
right.
gives you more info.
Thank you. All right.
Yes. Clear it up for you.
There we go.
But still,
Continue.
not from the South, so we don't know. Maybe Southern sisters are different. So if you do have a sister, you are less likely to feel lonely, unloved, self-conscious, and fearful. And siblings in general, not just sisters, boost your social skills. And shout out to my little brother here, Jace. I'm 6 years older than him, and this study says that even fighting with your siblings can be good for you.
Well, then I am one of the healthiest human beings on the planet.
Yes. My brother and I had a tumultuous relationship growing up. We loved each other, but we fought, Jace, We turned out to love each other, though, and he's a cool person now, but back then he was a menace. Fighting actually helps you develop social skills like communication, compromise, and negotiation, which I can see because I think we're both pretty good at all of those things, negotiating and compromising, and
just dealing with different personalities and people,
Yeah, what I found super interesting is that actually having siblings, they do more for your mental growth than even your parents can, is what this study is saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that is, when you see little kids that have older siblings, they always hit their milestones much quicker than an only child or the first child. So one of the chefs who used to work upstairs, he had a little boy, and my little boy were they're a day apart.
Okay.
His little boy was born the day after mine, but he was Mark's second, so his little boy was walking 5 months before mine, and I started to freak out, and he was like, no, it's because he has an older sibling, and so he's learning those skills constantly.
Well, that's good for all the younger siblings, but I'm the oldest here, so what did that get me?
Me too. We're slow walkers.
But anyway, so this is a super interesting study. Shout out to Jace. You're welcome for helping you out in life. But so did you feel that way growing up, that your sisters, I don't know, helped your mental growth?
I mean, I think they made me scrappy, and they're actually younger than me, but because there was 2 of them, it was me versus them. Yeah. Plus, they were twins. They were younger than me, so they were also the babies. So my parents will argue this, but they were the favorites because they were like the cute, like, oh, twins, how novel. And then there's me, not so novel.
Just Meg.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
But no, I mean, we ended up growing up and becoming sorority sisters, and I think we still fought a little bit in the sorority house.
That's hilarious. Hey, some things never change.
I know.
Gosh. You have our next story, right?
Yes. So, what I told you earlier, the Today Show news. So, Jenna Bush Hager has officially been named the replacement for Kathy Lee Gifford in the 4th hour of the Today Show. So, she'll be co-hosting with another one of our favorite Southerners, Hoda Kotb. We love her. Hoda is also one of my sorority sisters.
Oh.
We didn't go to the same school, but
Fun fact.
she was in the same sorority as me. But yeah, so she officially gets the 4th hour co-hosting duties when Kathy Lee steps away in April. And what's so great is like this whole transition has just been like so gracious and uplifting. I love it. So they made the big announcement on the Today Show earlier this week, right? Yeah, earlier this week. And Jenna Bush Hager was on, and she said her dad, our former president, George W. Bush, actually texted her just the words, "Very proud dad." And I thought that was so sweet.
Adorable.
But yeah, she talks about how much she's learned from Kathy Lee back during the Olympics when Hoda was... Where were the last Olympics?
London?
Sochi? London? Anyway.
Wherever they were.
Wherever the last Olympics were. I have no idea. Hoda was over there. So Jenna Bush stayed in New York and co-hosted with Kathy Lee, and that's how she really kind of got her feet wet. And Kathy Lee talked about how she sat there for 2 weeks and really watched Jenna grow in that role. And she said, you know, Jenna has earned it. She's earned the right to sit here. And, you know, the Today Show says their audience loves Jenna. We love Jenna. And Hoda Kotb called Jenna the perfect fit.
Oh, I love that.
So,
women empowering women. That's good stuff.
It's going to be like a wonderful, I think it's going to be a really great transition on the Today Show. And you have the outgoing host really welcoming in the new host. And you're not seeing that. I feel like a lot of times in like the network TV or even sometimes local broadcasting, it can, you know, when there's like somebody new coming, there's always a little bit of like drama. And, you know, like the Today Show's had like a little with the anchor transitions, you know, with Ann Curry, who I loved, and then Savannah coming in. You know, it's always been, it seemed to us, outsiders looking in, like, oh, is there some kind of drama going on behind the scenes?
That's not the case with this situation.
No,
though.
it seems so, really, really great. And, you know, I'm excited to watch her and Hoda, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Jenna Bush is actually an editor-at-large here at Southern Living Magazine. So that's how we feel a strong connection to her. She writes columns in the magazine often. And
she had her cover story on Joanna Gaines this month.
Yes, coming out in March. So yeah, she's close ties at Southern Living Magazine. I actually have a follow-up to this story, and that is that Miss Laura Bush, so our former First Lady, does not approve of the Today Show day drinking, which I think is hilarious. So if you guys watch the Today Show, especially in the 10 o'clock hour, you know the one Jenna Bush is taking over, they always have like a wine glass out. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, their Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, their white wine. They're just sipping. They're having a good time. Well, Jenna was actually talking about this in a People interview recently, and she said, "My mom judges, just so you know." She kind of does. That's what she said, which is kind of hilarious to me. She said, but the wine is just there as a symbolic thing, like come and sit with us and come and hang out with us to bring people around the table. But to me, it's just hilarious to know that like former First Lady Laura Bush is just like sitting back on her couch being like, this is too early to start drinking wine.
You know, I thought one day, I was like, maybe Tori and I should have a glass of wine in our show, but I thought my mom would totally judge us.
You never told me that. I don't think my mom would. I think my mom would be like, have another glass.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. Anyway, but yes, so she was saying that now that she is a mother of a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, Jenna Bush that is, that there's days when she has to leave the Today Show and go pick up her kids from school or go work out or do whatever else, meetings, work on her book. So having several glasses of wine would not be the best situation. But Hoda actually chimed in on this and said One thing is for sure, we're going to have lively conversations. It's going to be a party. That's what works. And I think the wine immediately shows everyone that the party continues, and it should. So I think it's more of a conversation starter and just like a way to bring people around a table.
A relaxed atmosphere.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually drink wine all day. I don't think that's what's happening. As funny with that as that would be on live television, that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Well, I love it. I love watching it.
Same. Oh yeah, they're hilarious.
All right, so a Maryland family ate expired food for an entire year.
I have to know more.
Just
let that sink in.
So the dad's name is Scott Nash. He is the founder of Mom's Organic Market, and his family ate things that most of us would throw away. I am personally terrified of expired food. I've had food poisoning once, and it wasn't even from expired food, but it was getting sick from food, and that will terrify you enough.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, it took me a while to be able to eat chicken again.
Oh, gosh.
So this is the kind of, and like, we're not talking about just like an expired bag of chips or something. They were eating, this included dairy, produce, meats, fish, and packaged food. But they did all this to prove a point. It's always to prove a point. So most of the food that gets discarded in the U.S. is because of these dates, these like expired Best By dates. And Nash says that most of them are arbitrary. And they're definitely confusing because, you know, when you pick up food, like they all say different things. Like some say expired by, some say Best By, sell by, best if used by. Yeah. They all say different things. And so I guess they all mean different things. There's just no consistency. And so this dad is saying that's just creating confusion. And now when I sit here and think about it, I'm like, yeah, that is confusing.
I agree. So did this family get sick or anything like
that?
No,
they survived. They didn't get sick.
Oh, man.
So he said they ate quesadillas made with wheat tortillas that were more than a year after the suggested Best By date.
Oh, my gosh.
They ate ground beef 15 days past its expiration date, which that scares me. Yeah. Like ground beef or raw chicken after it's expired.
Yeah.
But they said it was fine. Now, he didn't just like straight up eat like moldy butter or bread or anything like that. What he would do is if it was like moldy butter, he would scrape the mold off and then cook with it.
Oh my gosh.
Something. But, you know, we've done stories where like experts say don't do that. If you have a moldy piece of bread, don't just remove the mold and then eat the rest.
No, we have a story about a moldy bread that says that the mold and the bacteria actually has sunk down and seeped into the bread. So you can't just scrape mold off. It's still there. I mean, hey, you do you, but I'm not going to be eating moldy bread.
So
that's crazy.
He's using this to advocate for the food product dating system just being revised, have more consistency in labeling. And I mean, I can say there is a little truth to all the confusion because the USDA estimates that each year between 30 and 40% of the food in the United States goes uneaten.
Wow.
That's insane to me.
That's crazy and sad.
And yes, so monetarily it adds up to $165 billion in discarded food, but you also just think about all that good food just going to waste.
Right.
When there are other places that
people need food.
Yeah, struggling to get some.
Oh my gosh.
So he survived. Yeah, he survived, and he's like, let this be a lesson to us all that a lot of times these dates don't mean anything. I mean, what do y'all think? I mean...
Yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think. Please comment below and tell us.
I'm not totally, like, okay.
Are there certain things you would let go past the date, certain things you wouldn't?
Yeah. It's like milk. I will, like, if the date on it says, like, okay, this expired, like, a couple days ago, but it still smells okay, like, I still use it. I think it's fine. But, you know, if it smells bad, I'm not using it by any means. But, like, I feel like milk is still good a few days after an expiration
Milk, I feel like
date.
I've done it.
Vegetables, I'll do it as long as they're not
as long as the vegetables look good.
Yeah, they haven't like gotten all shrivelly or moldy or something.
I don't play with cheese though. I don't play if
you see cheese. I think I might be. it's meats for me.
Yeah,
that's I'm not playing around with meats.
Yeah, because I don't know. We could get salmonella and stuff.
Yeah, but we want to hear what y'all think because my husband is one of those people. It's like, if it looks okay, smells okay, I'm gonna try to eat it. And
not my game, but hey. To each their own. That's interesting. I do think, some updates on the food labeling system would be Would be interesting, though.
Just to help us out in the grocery store, you know?
Yes. Okay, you guys. Our last story. We promised you a Carrie Underwood update. She is selling her home. So if you're in the market and you have about $1.45 million to spare, you could buy this house. It's a beautiful home. Lots of neutrals. This is actually the home. You guys all know about this story, but Carrie Underwood fell down a flight of stairs 2 years ago now? No, November of 2017. She broke her wrist. She had 40 to 50 stitches on her face. It inspired her song Cry Pretty, which I'm sure you guys all know. We love Carrie. It's actually that home that this happened in.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in Brentwood, Tennessee.
So you could also get a little piece of history.
Yeah, exactly. Country music history.
Yeah.
It's an Italian-style home. It's in a governor's club. She actually got this house just 2 years after winning American Idol in 2004.
Oh, so she's had this home for a while.
Yeah, she's had it for a long time. But sources say that her and her husband have already moved into a new home. They're completely moved out, so they finally have put this house on the market.
Do you think it's because she's just like putting all that in her past, like her like fall down the stairs?
So. A lot of people
and,
are speculating.
Fresh start with a new baby. And...
Yes, new baby, kind of wants to put the past behind her, not be around the place that she had that terrible incident and all of those things. But there's also another problem. The neighborhood that it's in like one of those country club neighborhoods. She said she started having problems, especially after the incident, with neighbors letting people into the gated community to come and take pictures of her home.
What?
And like paparazzi and stuff.
That is not good neighbors.
Not
y'all.
Cool. Not cool. Listen, no photos, please.
Yeah.
If you know me. JK. But yeah, it's crazy. But this house is, to me, that's just surprising that people would do that. But
yeah, especially your neighbors. Well, especially in like what I assume is a neighborhood like that, I would imagine.
A very nice neighborhood.
People like that would be like, please.
Whatever, Carrie.
Yeah. I'm not letting people into my neighborhood.
But apparently she has told, several news sources that she had problems with people getting in and taking photos of their home, which is definitely kind of weird when you have young kids, too.
Young kids, and like your home is your safe space.
Right.
And she probably bought that house in a gated community for that reason. For that reason, yeah.
So anyway, that's all the drama going on with it. But you guys should go check out this article, and we'll post all of these articles that we've talked about below.
We have pictures of inside the house.
We have pictures inside the house. It's beautiful, y'all. It has a 2-story master closet, a gym, a wet bar, a covered pool. It's gorgeous. We don't have all the photos for you here, but you should definitely click on the article, check it out. And if you're in the market for a very expensive home, by all means, we'll come invite us. We'll throw you a little house welcoming party.
Yeah, we'll come do something to talk about from your new mansion in Nashville.
Something to talk about on location. That's all we have for you. I think Meg has a must-have, though.
Yes, staying in the Nashville neighborhood.
Oh, yes.
I have... This is like my favorite book right now. It's So Much to Celebrate by Katie Jacobs. Katie is a food stylist, photographer, like do-it-all Wonder Woman mom she's in Franklin, Tennessee, Nashville. She grew up in Nashville. She's actually come in. She's done several videos for us at Southern Living. Yeah, you can see we've done several videos with her on our website. And so it's a cookbook, but with recipes, but it also has entertaining tips in it. And she separated it by seasons, and I just love it. Like, I just get so much inspiration from it. And it's just beautiful, like beautiful photos. And she did this herself. I think she told me, last time she came in, she told me it took her like a year or two to make this book. And I was like, well, that is like, it takes less time to create another human being.
It's true.
And this came out shortly after she had her second daughter, so she said she felt like she was like delivering again. Yeah. Finally getting out. But it's so beautiful. You can get it on Amazon. And then, if you're in the Nashville area, she's always posting them around little shops around there. But I have this thing with like cookbooks. I love to try to cook my way through them. I've never done it. I've never actually completed a full cookbook. But I am like working on this. I love it. So like when the seasons change, I move to the new season of the book and I like try to make something. I actually made this cake for New Year's.
Oh, yum. That looks amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. My husband says it's the best cake I've ever made, which I'm not a baker, so that doesn't mean like
doesn't mean much, but
it was award winning or anything, my rendition of it, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I love her book. So
and she's definitely a friend of Southern Living, and she has done some really cool videos. She did an awesome caramel popcorn video for us.
Yes, her caramel popcorn is really good. And she's got 2 little girls, and I'm convinced she and Jenna Hager, they must have more hours in the day than the rest of us.
Super moms.
They are super moms. So
anyway, well, that's all we have for you guys this week.
So we'll see y'all next week. Happy Mardi Gras to our friends on the Gulf Coast and
Yes.
friends all over places that
To
also
all my
celebrate.
family, shout out to Mamu, Louisiana. We love you. Have fun at Mardi Gras. And tune back in Thursday at 3 p.m. We'll be back.
Awesome. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.